welcome to Shit My Pastor Said, the only podcast where we talk about all that shit those pastors have said to us. My name's Kris.
I'm Dano.
And we have our friend. We have a friend. I affectionately call him Hawk. It's Hawk for those listening in the cars. His name's Micah Wilson, and I had the distinct honor of being his youth pastor in like 2006 or something like that. Micah, welcome to the greatest pod in the history of the world.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here. How's it going?
Yeah. So I called Micah Hawk because when he was in 6th grade, we did a what did we call it? Junior high small group? No, not even this. There was the well. We'll get to that. Oh my God, that name! I haven't thought about that for so long. Remind me, Micah, to tell you a story about how we got the cease and desist from the middle school about that name. We'll get back to that.
Whoa, okay.
Yep, that's called a teaser. But we would do like a junior high small group, we called it. It was just during one of the services on Sunday morning, and we were going around asking people's names or nicknames or something like that, and it came to Micah, and if I remember, Micah was like, "Hey guys, I don't have a nickname," and we said his name backwards, which is what, Micah?
It's a Hakim.
Mm-hmm. And then
like you're clearing your throat. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and then it turned into his nickname being Hawk, and I think there's only 2 people in the entire world that call you that. That would be the other small group leader at the time.
Yeah, that's correct. Yep, 100%. Still to this day. Also, I think it's really important to point out that one of your reviewers is from someone named Hawkness.
Oh my God!
And that's not me. So if you're listening to this, look me up. We'll be friends. We'll start a group.
And if you're listening to this, tell me where I can find these reviews, because apparently they exist somewhere.
Oh, Apple Podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we just sit here and read them?
Is there more than one?
Yeah, I think there was 2.
My name backwards is Onad.
We could start that.
Not a great. No, it's not a great nickname.
I actually really like it because it sounds like gonads.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
It sure does.
Oh, great.
You're welcome. What if I'm going to teach, you know what? If I ever have grandkids, I'm going to teach them to say great uncle. They'd be the great uncle gonads.
I want to be a grand uncle instead of a great uncle. I'm going to change that up.
That's good. I like that you're giving energy to that.
Only you can make that happen for yourself.
Dano's giving us a thumbs up. Okay, so let's get into it. Micah, what year were you? What year did we meet each other? Was that, if you were in 6th grade, that would have been 2004, 2005?
I think it was 2005, yeah. Because we met a little bit before. You took me to the mall, and we had Cinnabon, and you did donuts in the parking lot.
So let the listeners be known that I have multiple concussions, and I have no memory of that at all. Like zero.
Incredible. Yeah,
Was
it
it
was
fun?
a good time. It was like the second time I'd ever
Cinnabon,
met
man.
you.
It's always fun.
And I think it went well. We didn't crash.
We did not crash. I love Dano's comment.
I'm gonna out us right now. I'm on a huge delay from these two, so it should be an interesting, fun ride for everybody.
This is why
listening.
we're laughing when we started, because it's great. Dano just like, Cinnabon, it's great.
Yep.
Cinnabon's always fun.
Okay, so Micah, one of the premises of the show, or actually the name of the fucking show, is Shit My Pastor Said. And so one of the reasons we want to have you on is we want to hear your faith journey and how it's evolved or de-evolved, or whatever language you feel most comfortable. But also to talk shit about the dumb shit that mostly, like, maybe the volunteer leaders might have said, like, I don't know, maybe Dano, or maybe
Not a chance.
well, actually, hold on, and we'll get to that. But Micah, can you tell us maybe how like you know me because I like officiated your wedding. I probably was around your baptism. Instilled like deep like faith values, and was your youth pastor for 6 years. How do you remember Dano?
I remember Dano as that guy that I've played Foursquare with, and he did a one-man rendition of "It's a Wonderful Life" at a winter student conference.
Yep.
In
Snowball.
between Snowball, in between acts at the talent show. He was also in a
Hell yeah.
instrumental formative video on the internet.
Yes. Look it
Called
up.
The Covenant.
Let's not mention the username.
Yeah, we didn't. The
I might use that for a number of different personal accounts.
was the video the Covenant Hawk? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, I'm thinking about the Live Links one.
Yeah.
Formative.
Live links.
Not right now. I'm on a date.
You could, if you want to find our old youth group videos, you can by searching. The Burn was the name of our youth group. You're welcome.
Or just search live links. See what comes up.
Live Links Hot and Heavy. You can look that up.
Yeah.
Or you could look up Live Links, and if you type in like The Burn or Student Ministries, it honestly, it's had like 35,000 views the last time I checked it out.
I'm going to definitely look up live links and the burn. See what comes up.
Make sure you have Safe Surf off. It could
Yeah,
Live
turn
Links
off
and The
Covenant
Burn.
Eyes.
That's so good.
I should say I was a volunteer youth leader, and I did as my talent show in front of, I don't know what, 500 middle schoolers.
500?
I decided to do a one-man show of It's a Wonderful Life, like anyone knew what that was.
It was the retreat that we were in Osceola, Wisconsin, I think, at a place called the Ark, and that's the one where the guy who loved Dr. Pepper wore cargo pants and cargo shorts, Dano, a vineyard pastor.
Yeah.
And it was at that one where Dano pretended to be a ventriloquist, and the dummy was an actual student. Do you remember this, Micah?
I do. I forgot about that.
And the student, we won't say their name. The student, like, they drew lines on the chin, so it even looked like a mannequin doll. Oh my God! It was one of the funniest. And do you remember this, Dano? In the same talent show, you also did music reviews with that same student, where it was like, who knows more about bands? Do you remember this, Dano?
I don't remember
God.
this.
And you would say, like, tell me about Miles Davis, and that's when he said, like, blues music is terrible, and then it wasn't funny, like, at all. But me.
Yeah, no shit. That was my experience. I wasted all my best bits on middle schoolers at a evangelical Christian concert.
Retreat, not concert.
Conference.
Yes. Oh, God, that was so funny. Okay, so
I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's so rich. So why don't we start about Micah? What's the we could say shit my pastor said could also be really inspirational shit that maybe you heard from us, but I would love, and let the listeners know, we did not talk about this beforehand. We did not tell Micah, you have to say this. I'm genuinely curious, before we get into the beautiful spiritual evolution, what's some of the dumb shit you heard from pastors or volunteers or live links?
This isn't necessarily a thing you said to me, but can I explain what was it, the Pancake Club?
Oh my God, Mike! I forgot about.
Is that okay to say here?
Yes, it is absolutely okay. It's okay to say.
So,
God damn, I am embarrassed about this. Just let everyone know.
Fantastic. We it was a bike trip. It was a weekend bike trip, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. Yeah,
it was.
I thought it started in Denver on the missions trip, is what I remember.
No, this was middle school. This was for sure.
Yeah, you wouldn't have come. You wouldn't have come on the as a middle schooler. Yeah.
So I think we biked.
We did.
Like
we did
a
bike
dozen
trip.
miles away.
It was we called it oh, I know, I remember. Yes, it was in Jay Cook.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Journey.
The Journey. Yes.
The Journey.
Names were a big part of being a youth pastor. We can surmise.
Yes, and names like our words are incredibly important to me as well. So it was a youth pastor and my personality.
When I just a quick aside, when I first left that church with you guys and went down to intern and then become a pastor at a different church, at one point they pulled me aside and they're like, "You're thinking too hard about what this should be called. You're thinking about like you don't need to worry about the names of every event as much as work you're putting into."
Yeah, and you know, you
Like,
know what you say to them? You say, "Fuck you, I know what I'm doing."
I said, "Get your hands off me."
Do you know where I'm from? Do you know
That's
who
right.
I am?
Yeah.
Have you heard of The Journey? Yeah, let me tell you. Okay.
So on The Journey, it was like the second morning. I think if it was pancakes over like a fire.
Yep.
And
Concussion didn't rob me of this one, guys.
yeah,
I can remember this.
Chris was initiating people into the pancake club, and how you got in is you took a slap from the spatula that he was
The
using
hot spatula.
Oh my
to flip the
God.
pancakes. So he. God, are we sure we can share this?
We can.
Yeah, you might want to call our lawyer.
So
Yeah.
he's like, and it was. He wasn't forcing people in. He was offering.
And Micah,
Children, not people.
children, and Micah,
Yep,
hand of God, I did call your mother before.
You sure did.
I did. I called her to get consent and said, "Can I hit your kid with a hot spatula to initiate him into a fake club?" And she said, "Absolutely." There was not even
Yes.
hesitation.
Here, what I do think, I think I know the answer to this, but I do have to hear you say it. Was
Yeah.
I the only kid whose parents you called for that, though?
You were the only kid I ever called a parent of to get consent to slap them with a spatula. Yes. Now, let me tell you the story behind that. There was, and I'm not advertising. I'm not saying I'm proud of this. I'm not saying I'm in the right. This is clearly, I would never do this. If I employed a youth pastor and they did this, I probably would have fired them. Right. So it's funny and it's problematic. So they both can exist. But there was like, I was trying to think through like, I read an article or a book that was all about initiations, about like helping students like move into like a community and a group, right? And like, oh, it's like a rite of passage that can like create a tradition. And the first thing I thought, I don't remember why. I was like, oh, this sounds like a really hilarious idea. And it's coming alive on the podcast again. So
I think it's funny. Yeah.
I think the grossest, craziest thing that I ever saw was when you had kids, one of them would take off their sock and put it over a can of pop, and another kid would have to drink it through the sock.
Yep.
Oh,
that's so fucking disgusting. I think about it once every other month and go,
I have like 4 more grosser stories than that.
100%.
oh, that's so
You know what's
gross,
funny, guys?
dude.
I was, at least I don't think I was, right? But I wasn't like the youth pastor. It was like, hey, let's get kids to eat gross shit. That came up because of the game we were playing. What was the name of the game? Sheets. Right? That betting game that we learned from another youth pastor. That was what other people would come up with, what the losers would have to do. And every time I'm like, this is too gross. And I just made sure I never lost. So I never had to do any of those things.
If I heard about like a teacher or somebody having my kid do that, I think I'd call that teacher.
Yes,
I seriously would. I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Exactly. I'm telling you, I'm not proud of these of these. I mean, some of the stories are funny, but so Micah remembers me from doing shitties in the parking lot of the mall, Cinnabon, and now hitting you with a spatula when you were 14,
It was
13.
it was my stomach. I had to lift up my shirt and
I think the worst thing I ever did was the second act of the It's a Wonderful Life one-man show. I didn't.
You took an intermission?
I couldn't nail Bert the cop. I couldn't nail Bert the cop.
That's funny. Okay. All right, Hawk, what else? Is there any other stories or shit that we said to you?
oh man, trying to
Filter
Not-
them all out.
not throw you under the bus too much. No, I think no.
No, you're like going through not that one.
Go for it.
I'm cataloging like okay. I heard about that one. I wasn't there.
Yeah, no, only the ones that you were there.
Oh my god. Here's an embarrassing story about myself.
Okay.
And Chris's love of eye
Interested?
contact. So it was a mission trip, and oh gosh, I think I was 14 or something, and it was the last day, and you had us line up and shake the hand of the woman who had kind of like facilitated. She'd been like the on-site coordinator,
Okay.
and I don't remember if it's Wisconsin or Denver or whatever. And so I'm like a shitty little teenager, and I'm not great at eye contact. So it got to me, and I shook her hand and I said thank you, and you said, "Hey, you have to do that again."
It sounds exactly like me. Oh,
you,
God.
You didn't look her in the eye. And my first thought was, oh God, where was I looking? Was I just like what? And to this day, I don't remember where I was looking. I'm sure it was like just like the clouds. Like I'm looking at something's happening behind her. But in that moment, I was like, holy shit, was I just like, her eyes are up there and I missed it. Like what the fuck was I doing?
Yep.
So I still think about that one, and I try to say thank you and look in people's eyes now because I have terrible anxiety from it.
See, that's like my legacy, all right? If it was in Wisconsin, it wasn't me because I never went. That was two other youth leaders because my wife was having a baby. If it was
right.
Denver,
It must have been.
If it was Denver, it was me. If
It must have been Denver. It was you.
Damn it!
I distinctly remember.
That's me. There was before Nikki and I even had kids. I don't know why I'm saying this. We were talking about like values, and one of the things I said was like, it's really important to me that our kids learn how to like shake a hand and look people in the eye. And I don't know where that comes from, but
Okay, boomer. Right?
I don't know that it's
Okay,
the
boomer.
worst thing that you would want to instill in someone, but
not
No, it's
not
good.
like not a 14-year-old that's not my kid, and I make him redo it to someone I don't even know.
Yes.
Micah, was that the mission trip that we went to Casa Bonita in Denver, that shitty Mexican restaurant where people jump into the pools? Like they dive into the small?
Shitty.
It's
Yes.
horrible.
Yeah. That was it.
It's iconic.
It's iconic, and the food was also horrible. Like really bad.
Iconic in a bad way. Yeah.
Yep. It was was kind of the bit.
But now it's iconic, right? Now it's like the hottest ticket in town. The South Park guys bought it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, this was
shit.
before they bought it. Yeah. It was
We should go
iconic
back.
then too.
Yeah.
But it was that's where
Right.
another youth leader he gave me my first Red Bull for the first time in my life, and it was equivalent to me drinking like 5 liters of vodka. I was out. I was out of my mind. I couldn't stop laughing. I jumped up and sang with the mariachi band.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I've not had an energy drink since that moment.
Are you
I've been
serious?
sober from energy drinks for.
You serious, bro?
Do you even lift, bro? Okay, so Micah, do you have any more stories you want to share about Dano specifically, not me?
No, actually, like a couple years back, I had a flat tire on the side of the highway, and someone showed up. It was Dano.
Serious?
No.
Oh, I was like, Dano, do you remember this? Okay, so I do have another question for you then. Like when
Yeah.
I mean, outside of all the fucking trauma that came out of that place, right? And not joking aside, right? What like when you think of like your experience when you were like a youth, because you were a youth group until you graduated. No, you even helped out after you graduated, if I remember correctly.
Sure did. Yeah.
Like what are some of your takeaways, like positive, negative, just when you think about your experience at that youth group? What feelings do you have?
I think it forms my thoughts on you. You create belonging by giving people like ownership. Like something that was really, really good was you let all of the students do stuff. You could do the audio visual stuff or lead worship or just help out, like lead a game or whatever. But I think it's something I do to this day when I'm at like a job or something. When I'm trying to get someone in, I'm like, okay, this can be your like. I'm gonna give you the chance to shape this in the hopes that it builds belonging. It makes it clear that you're supposed to be here. Yeah, that's something I still think about and apply it to my like how I view communities. You give people a stake, and they feel like they belong. They'll work towards the same goals that you will. Essentially, it puts you all in the same team. Yeah.
Yeah, do you think that is something that I think that is a positive thing that I also took away
Yeah.
and I've carried on throughout my life? Kris, you might know better than us, but like, is that something that? Let me just put it this way: I don't give a lot of people credit anymore for stuff that they taught me, especially the ones that turned out to be like pieces of shit.
Dipshits, yeah.
So it's like, well, they probably just took it from like business. So do you know where that came from?
That the idea of empowering people to have agency and discover on their own.
Yeah, like an intentional, like, let's get you involved by putting a shovel in your hands or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is funny and could be triggering for those who were a part of the Vineyard movement. I was taught right when I first started, and I learned it in my experience in youth group, is that we got to be hands-on and do things. But the one thing that the Vineyard did was called the five. Can you guys see the 5-finger discipleship loop? Which, all right, I'm still doing it, so I still remember it. It was you point the thumb and said, you do it yourself, and then you point to your index finger. You do it with someone. They watch you do it. You watch them do it, and at the pinky, they do it themselves.
Yeah.
So it was now. That was absolutely taken advantage of and exploited. But the model and the philosophy of it is, I think, is brilliant. It's messy. It is not like a super easy, but it's effective because people feel like they have some ownership. I'd also say that the kind of community we were in, that I was also in, was also very cultish. So, and like you want to take the positive side of that and the negative side of that, of where people were drawn and want to get connected right away. You guys,
You know what else? I think, yeah, I hear some buzzing.
I don't know what happened.
Let me just say this, in case we can still use this, but I used to try, again, when I went down to this other church, there it just went away. When I went down to this other church and tried to like use that, I think that can be a beneficial tool. I think I was confronted with people saying like, well, that's a very like you don't need to be as involved. It's putting the leader in such a central role into everything.
100%.
That's kind of like where it kind of, and it especially shaped me, or it was taught to me like, you're a white guy. You don't need to hold someone else's hand the whole way through and make sure that you're the one watching them and then give them notes. Sometimes you got to like ask someone to do things, teach them how, but then, or, how we want to do it. And then just like get the fuck out of the way. So I don't know. It was like, again, it was kind of a whiplash for me. Just like, oh, not everything has to be done through the way that this senior pastor says,
Yeah. And and I also think the buzzing is on and off again. I'll cut that part out. But I do think that the model of like getting people involved and teaching them how to do it can be good. I totally lost track.
Yeah.
I lost track. I was thinking about the buzzing. It's gone now. Micah, are you muted right now?
I'm muted, yeah. So I've been muting because I can see, my window's lighting up, and then I don't say anything, and it stays lit up, right?
No, not anymore. We can just roll with it. It's
cool.
Yeah.
it's totally okay. So let's pick it up from after when Dano shared his thing. Because I'm going to take the part out of there about the cult thing. But
I don't think you need to.
yeah, but it's okay. Let's move on. So Dano's good on talking about the discipleship model.
Hey, wait. Do you want me to just leave in a couple minutes, or do you want me to say something?
I'd like you to say something before you go. You don't have to say that you're leaving,
Okay.
but you could say whatever you want, and then, or you could say you have to leave. That's why you're not going to say anything more. That'd probably be helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you're good to go, Dano.
You want me to say that right now?
Yep, we're going to move on from what we were just talking about.
Okay. All right. Hey guys, I have a hard out here, so I got to take off. Micah, it was good to talk to you. Kris, always great to see you, obviously. Anything before I go you guys need to know from me?
Yes. What do you want to share?
Now's your chance.
Share what you want.
No. What do you mean share what I want?
I thought you just said some things you need to know about me before I go. And I'm saying, yeah.
No, I said, is there anything you need to know about me before I go?
Yeah, Micah, you got any questions? I got like 30.
Yeah.
Now's your chance,
Okay,
Micah.
so just a real quick question. So you've said previously on the podcast that you're not a person of faith at this time in your life. When did that happen? Where was Kris in his journey, and did he try to bring you back?
Great question. I think honestly, my official exodus from evangelical Christianity started, or like really solidified that movement out when it was like the convergence of evangelicals' response to Ferguson, Missouri, and kind of like the big like Black Lives Matter movement really taking hold in our culture, which also happened around the election of Donald Trump and the evangelical response to that. And then I think two things: seeing how the pastors that I was involved with, showing some of their true colors, and then especially watching Kris go through his journey with senior pastors and senior leadership, and that kind of, not like just a breakup, like
got kicked out,
rift between that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I was truly like, well, then fuck all y'all.
Yeah.
But, and Kris never did. Kris was always really, I don't know, I'll say gentle, but I think we were both like moving in the same direction at the time anyways. So like, I probably said this on the last episode or another episode. I don't think I'm an atheist. I'm not. I think I have some faith in something. I just am nowhere near evangelical Christianity or even calling myself a Christian. And I think, as DC Talk once said, the thing that an unbelieving world finds most unbelievable is, I don't even remember, but
Hold on, you're going to quote a song and you can't remember the fucking song? Don't start quoting a song if you don't know it.
I will.
As the famous DC Talk
like,
once saying. What?
like how Christians act. And so I think Black Lives Matter and like that all happening around the same time as Donald Trump being suddenly the champion of Christianity was just like, I think I'm in a different spot that I'll never come back to.
Yeah.
You know,
Dano, I have a question for you. Two of them. I think the
And,
DC Talk song you're thinking was "I don't want it, I don't want it, I don't want your sex for now." I think that's what you're thinking of. And number two,
I thought it was.
that's the song.
I thought it was. You know, he's doing it. God is doing a new thing.
God, we can't go down that road. My other question was, have you ever heard? Did you hear that Santa is a Christian again, and he's starting a church?
I heard that. What was the name of that church, Kris? Do you remember?
It had 4 different names in about 20 seconds. That's what I remember.
No way. It was. Yeah. I heard that Norwal Witch King can be a real bastard. All right, see you guys.
Bye, Dano. For those who want to know, that is by far our least popular podcast episode, called Santa's Christian Again. I think it's the best thing. I think it's the funniest thing that he has ever done. Not ever. But, okay, let's pivot out of that as quickly as possible. Micah, that was a great question, by the way.
Thanks.
That was a super good
It was
question.
a very concise answer. I was totally like expecting him to say, "Screw off, I have to go,"
Yeah.
and he took it so earnestly.
Well, I think I was maybe in the same spaces in that you're going to say like, hey, why don't you go fuck yourself, Dano, or something like that. So you're like, this really thought well out. That was really great. So same to you, Micah. So what is, from where you started when you were younger, and you could share whatever you want, how have you seen your faith or lack thereof, or whatever language you want to use, in the last, because you just told me how old you are. You were 30, 31?
I'm 30.
You're 30 years old, and I am 45. So when you were 13, I was 28 years old.
So
Wow.
when I was 13, I got slapped with a spatula.
By a 28-year-old. So, God, wow. Okay, I thought it was much younger then. Okay, so, but why don't you share with us like your from where you were, wherever your starting point is, to where you are now, and what events or things you read or heard or experiences or embodiments that you feel like helped make those transformations.
Right. So when I was 20, I was on a trajectory to be like a church planting, evangelical pastoring dude. I had just done the HLI program that
I forgot you. I do remember. Oh my God. There's a whole, there's a lot there that I remember. Sorry. I'm in the space with you.
Yeah. So for anyone who's not familiar, HLI is the Vineyards version of like YWAM, basically.
But what does it stand for?
Heroic Leadership Institute. It's based off of a book by, his name might be Kris or something like that.
Yeah,
but
I think it is.
It's a businessman who studied the principles of the Jesuits, and our church movement denomination took that and went, let's instill that in young people and use this as a live-in internship sort of situation is really what it is.
They would argue that phrase, but it's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's
sure
free
would argue
volunteers.
that.
You pay to help.
100%. Yes, and you could only miss like 3 Sundays a year, and you were expected to volunteer at any services you weren't attending. Oh man, yeah. So I'm 20.
And what campus were you at?
I was in Maine.
Oh God, damn. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
we're not saying names. Got
yeah.
it.
I was 20. I had just come back from this program, and I discovered podcasts. I discovered you could listen to people have a wide variety of thoughts that aren't censored by the recommendations of other people around you.
Yeah.
And my understanding of faith unraveled like that summer. And I didn't like see the cracks at first, but the first thing was like, man, hell doesn't make sense.
I like that you come back from the institution that's going to teach you how to be this lifelong leader, Christian leader, and then podcast unravel it immediately.
How frail, right?
How frail, exactly.
But I was just so curious. I was so excited by all these new ideas presented, and it's like I don't think I believe in hell. I don't think that's helpful. It doesn't make any sense. Like it's like a math problem that doesn't seem to equal out when you think about it. Like, okay, so you do bad things in this life, and then if you don't say the right things, you just get to suffer forever.
For all time. Do you remember
time.
Do you remember who you were listening to or what podcast?
It was the Bad Christian podcast.
Oh, I never heard of it.
I think they've rebranded, but it was a couple guys from the band Emery, and and their other friend who was a pastor at a different evangelical church.
Okay.
And so, if you start thinking about hell, then you're going to start thinking about like, what does the cross mean? We put a lot of stakes in that. And then one day I remember another podcast I listened to that was really helpful was The Liturgists.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. And one of the hosts, Mike McCarg, had his own like spin-off podcast where he answered.
That was Science
Ask
Mike?
Science Mike.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He'd just ask questions, or he'd respond to questions that people had about science and sometimes faith, and his posture was always just kind, open-hearted, thoughtful, and he had a guest answer a podcast about being trans, and so it's this person that I've never heard from. They just show up on this show. I was expecting Science Mike.
About?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't remember their pronouns, but they started answering this question just about how like I don't know how I feel about this theologically, but what I do know is this is the way I feel when people act discriminatorily, is that a word?
Yep.
Towards me. And I remember I was driving to a coffee shop. I was feeling pretty low. I think I was skipping a college class.
Yeah.
And I remember like I had to pull over because the answer this person gave was just so honest about the way they had been hurt by just like what bathroom they could use. And like I could feel the floor like drop out beneath me of like, oh my God, this is the thing I've been a part of. And it just hurts people.
Yeah.
And then I spent a good 3 years like still trying to be, how would you call it? Like a good team player. Like, yeah, we don't all believe the same things, but surely we all want to make the world a better, kinder place. Right. Right.
Yeah. Been there.
And I tried so hard. I was attending, I was helping at our old church.
The Vineyard. Yeah.
Yeah, at the Vineyard, I would go volunteer with student ministries. I was in a small group from a different church with some friends that I'd met, like just trying to.
You were at a different church small group too,
Yeah,
like another evangelical one.
Yeah, I was everywhere, dude. I was
Yes.
just like surely if we just like all connect enough, we can figure this shit out, and like we
Yeah.
can come together as one cohesive unit and body of people.
Like a big tent, right? There's a lot of room under this big tent. Yeah.
Yeah, I was fucking in. Like let's go. Let's it doesn't matter as long as you're trying to like the gospel's good news for everyone, dude. And
Yeah.
I don't know what that means anymore, but there's good news to be had.
Yeah.
And I think you can tell by Kris's laughter. He probably knows how this all went.
Yes.
So it didn't go anywhere.
I was waiting for a story. I'm like, I know where this
All right,
lands.
stop. No, I
But
remember.
Yeah, tell us about how or when you realized when it wasn't going anywhere.
I remember the moment too. Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of this involves me driving. So I'm at
Were you
this other
high?
small group.
Were you high when
No.
you were driving? Oh, okay, that'd been a better
no,
story.
No, no, I'm at this other small group, not Vineyard related, just another
Okay.
smaller evangelical church with friends, and I'm listening. There's like 20 people in this room, all talking, and that's. I'm not great at parties. I'm good. I can do a small conversation, but like a room full of talking people, that's stressful. So I'm just listening, and I hear the leader of this group talking about how dangerous it is that Michael Gungor could believe that God could be anything but male. I know, man.
Also been there, yes.
And we laugh about it now, but in this moment I was like, oh, these people think that I'm dangerous. Like the things that I don't care about or don't believe, that's a threat.
Yeah.
So I remember I'm not talking to anyone. I got up and I just left. And actually, I don't think I drove around right away. I think I just walked around the neighborhood for like 2 hours. I put my headphones in. I was listening to, I think it's called "To Be Everywhere Is to Be Nowhere" by Thrice. It's an album from 2016.
I love you remember it. Yeah.
Well, it made me feel safer in that moment. But just like the realization that there was nothing I could do at that time to bridge this gap. Like I'm going to be a project, I'm going to be in the way, I'm going to be a threat cuz I'm not with any of these groups. So I think, oh man, I stopped everything. Like I texted the junior high leader, like I'm not gonna lead anymore. Like I'm just done. And I just kind of let the organized faith portion of my life, I just let it go.
So you said you listened to the album Thrice because it made you feel safe. What felt unsafe in that moment?
The idea, what I know, so like I was raised evangelical. So if someone's not evangelical the way you are, they're a project. There's something that needs to be fixed. And it's just like, y'all, I thought we were all just friends having a good time, like working towards a better something. I guess I don't know how to put it into words exactly, but the idea that I was a threat, it's not a system that can sustain. What's the variety? Yes, that's a threat. That's something that needs to be eliminated. It needs to be. You need to have hard conversations to the side, and you need to make sure that this person is not in a position where they could hurt someone else. Like, that's a thing to be contained and dealt with somewhere else.
It's like a virus. You got to contain it. You got to stop it.
Yes, exactly.
So what do you remember then? People's, because if it was as immediate as you're saying, right? It sounds like you had this thought and then you texted the junior high youth leader. What were the responses, both shitty and kind, that you remember?
I got a couple texts later that night from people at the group who are like, "Hey, where'd you go?"
You were here, and then you were not.
Yeah, I could have sworn. Yeah. The junior high leader, who to this day I think is a really, really kind person.
Yeah.
She was just like, I get it. It's okay. We're here if you need anything. Yeah, like, if it's the
okay,
same, you're all right.
The same junior high leader I'm thinking of, and I think it is, right? They're a really great person.
I believe so.
Yeah. They were, like so many of us, they were put into a system that they were never going to make it, right?
Yeah.
Like that kind of genuine authenticity, kindness, and even inclusive, just fuck. That's heavy.
Yeah.
So you have this, what would you call that moment of where you could feel or see or identify that I am a problem, right? Like, and you're gonna move on. Would you call what term would you use? That was the beginning, or that was the final, or that was the journey of?
It was. I think it was the beginning of. It was like the beginning of the end. That was the clean slate moment, you know?
Yeah.
I think about my moment listening to the interview with that trans person, and like that was the moment. I feel like from there until the moment where I realized that I'm a threat was free fall. That's all free fall, and I'm like frantically reaching for ideas like, what is any of this still good?
Yeah.
Can any of this get me out of this situation? And the moment where I left was the moment I went, no, the tools I have right now don't fix this. So it was like just clean slate. Now we don't know how to move forward, but at the very least, there's nothing holding me down.
I don't have the sucking chest wound anymore, but hey, I lost all my friends, so there's that.
Yeah.
Did you lose some of you? I'm assuming you lost that group of friends that you were in that room with.
It was never the same. Something was always up, and like that youth leader was the only one from the vineyard who like really reached out. Other than that, I feel like it was pretty much radio silent. Every now and then I still to this day hear from like, you know, like Asa. Asa's so solid.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
So it was pretty lonely.
And were you done going?
Like,
were you done going to church too then, or did you go to a different church? It was
no, that was it. That was the end. Like, this isn't yeah, this isn't working. And also at that point, I was like, I don't like atonement theory. I think it's gross.
No, I don't know anyone who does. Even the people who say they do, they don't. But yes, anyways.
Well, that's their problem.
Give us like the headline version of what atonement theory is.
Okay, so atonement theory is humans have sinned / are sinful by nature. That's a problem. That's a separation between God and man. In order for God to make this right, someone has to suffer. Someone has to pay the cost. So God sends Jesus to die as a sacrifice to bridge the gap.
Yep.
And that is people can say it as nicely as they want. I can't unsee abusive parent hurts themselves so they don't hurt their kid. And then lords it over you for all of eternity.
Yep.
I hate that. I hate that. If that's helpful to whoever's listening, that's great.
Yes.
But once you know that, and once you identify that, the church systems that we were a part of, like, dude, it's in everything. It's in every song. It's in everything. You can't get away from it. And it made me so sick to have to like keep being around that. I was just like, I can't.
And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
God,
right?
no.
Because even in the way that people pray, and any kind of writing, even just like the depravity of humans, or saying like that the deepest part of us is sin, it's all attached to that atonement theory, right? That shitty atonement theory. And like I'm with you. Some of my awakenings were like, why do we have to start a place that we're all fucking horrible people?
Yeah.
Why do we have to live this place like, oh God, we should just be thankful that God loves us? It's like, yeah, we should be, but not because we're some horrible people. Right.
And like, what does that say about God? Like what shitty creator creates something imperfectly and then expects them to make up the difference like that,
and then to call it love. Yeah. Not to jump on the touchdown call, but when you do that, it gives so much room from like what we experienced in the denomination that we were once a part of. It gives it gives language, excuse, ignorance to do toxic, violent things on people's bodies in the name of God. Because if you start at a place of humans are bad or we're just lucky enough to be loved by God, you can exploit that on any individual who is generally looking for a place to find belonging, connection with whatever God is. It's ugh, barf. Yeah. So where you go from this small group that you're in this room with all these people, you go listen to a Thrice song, Science Mike ruins your faith. I hope they're listening, all right? And honestly, like a trans person might have saved your faith is another way of looking at it too. What's the journey from that Thrice moment and where you are today?
So I would still consider myself a Christian, but
There's no buts in Christianity, Micah.
I know a couple. There sure are.
That small group's still pissed at you by saying that. Sorry, too soon.
No, it's all right. It's been years. It's not too soon. I would still consider myself a Christian because in so many ways, that's the only lineage and ancestry that I have.
Yeah.
Like our family traditions all mostly revolve around religion. Even like my dad. Here's a little shout out to my dad. He's a
Butch.
Christmas light junkie. Yeah.
Yes.
He sets up.
He's totally a junkie of Christmas lights.
He
I never
is.
heard that before. That's wonderful.
And he loves it, and it makes people so happy. But he sets up Christmas lights and then programs the lights to go off at timed intervals to sync up with songs.
Yeah.
And then people drive by and tune to the radio station, and like just so much of our family identity is wrapped up in Christianity.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I wish Dano were here because I know he feels differently. I don't feel like you can spend decades in a social system and then go, that's not really my identity. Like it feels very, it feels very divorced from reality. Like I don't get to go, oh yes, white people, colonizing people have hurt people of color, but I didn't do that, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I really feel like there's some responsibility to give this institution a path through like reparations.
Yeah.
And then to the future, to a better world where people have places to belong.
You know what's funny about that, Micah, is when I talk to people about this, and I imagine you as well, I feel like there's more than two camps, but primarily there's two camps, or maybe three, because I also share that responsibility. Like I can think of a couple moments in my life of where I'm like, I can't fucking do this anymore, based off my trauma, right? And then I keep coming back. I kept coming back, and today I'm firmly in that Christian stream. But it really came down to I feel some response. I just can't throw this jacket off and put on a different jacket because it makes me feel better. It's like I have to own the things that I participated in, the things that I benefited from, directly and indirectly, right? But that also means I have to be responsible for the fucking horrible, shitty things like in like the large church, like the global church, but also sadly, right? Like the fucking horrible shit, violent shit that happened in the church that I pastored at and I led and I still lead, right?
Yes.
And the other camps are like people who can just like, yeah, man, not my circus, not my monkey. And they can just and I don't blame them that they don't feel that responsibility. And then there's other people that are like, burn it all to the ground.
Right.
And there's more, right? That's fascinating. Because a lot of the people I talk to are the other two, burn it down on the ground or not my circuit. I'm done with this. There's not as many people, and I'd be really curious if there's anyone who's listening who feel like they associate with that sense of duty is not, even I say it doesn't make it, that doesn't capture the responsibility. It's like, and again, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Is that out of your cultural, like we're just so steeped in it that it's just always been there because of our family upbringing, our family systems? Like for me, there's a lot of trauma, a lot of shittiness, but there's also a lot of beauty. I still find Christianity or the story of Christ to be super meaningful to me. And that is reigned supreme over all the other intellectual arguments that make sense to me and all the other horrible things in the name of God that people have done. Like what's keeping you?
Maybe it is a trauma response. It totally could be a trauma response. But on the other hand, I think I have some atheist friends that would really disagree with this. I think religion should exist. I think it can be so helpful and so healthy for people. And in fact, I think studies do show that if you are a part of a religious organization that validates who you are and what you are and says you're good, like it has long-term positive health effects.
Yes.
But I also think here's my big theory, Kris.
Okay, let's hear it.
Religion is the biggest collective coping mechanism that exists.
Yeah.
Life is hard. There are so many unknowns. We don't know why bad things happen. We don't know why good things happen. And that's scary and can be encouraging. And if that's all it is, I think it's really useful.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of room here for people to find a place, find a home, find redemption in a way.
Yeah.
I also don't know. It would feel dishonest to say like I could totally get the religion out of my bones.
No.
Like that shit's in there. We spent 15 years surgically implanting that into my marrow. Like I can't get that out.
I mean, yes. Like to the idea of religion being a coping mechanism, one thing that we talked about. Did you hear I went to seminary? No big deal. Yeah, I graduated.
I've heard rumors.
Yeah, some people did it in 2. I did it in 4, but who's counting? And one thing we talked about in one of the classes where I like when I said I feel like I can't wear this jacket of Christianity any longer was in a class called What is Religion? And it was academic study of religion itself, not just like what is Catholicism or Islam. And it was so shattering feels like an overdramatic term, but it really shook a lot of what I believed, because they were talking about religion is also an evolutionary process. If you can find a way to keep people in, like, close to the fire so that they survive, and you call whatever's in the night spirits or Satan or evil, right? Well, then people are going to stay connected to one another. And if you find some sort of belonging that keeps you safe and can promote some sort of unity, it's kind of like where religion came out. And religion grew. There's this book called Sacred Canopy, I think it's what it's called. And the whole idea is like a tree growing. Have you read it?
I own it.
Oh God!
I have ideas of what it could be about.
Okay, I'll give you the most quickest example is that religion is like this tree, and as it continues to grow, other trees are going around it, and it has like these leaves, and that's like our belief system, our religious system. And as we evolve and as we grew, and the more you know, the better you do, and all that shit, like those leaves keep extending further and further. So you can find a home, like I can find a home in Christianity, but there's been so many other canopies, so many other branches of Christianity. There's room for me to explore, because I love what you said. Like, religion can be positive if you find that it affirms who you are, right? And like I had one person when I was talking shit about evangelical fundamentalism. God, I forgot about this. And you know this person, and they said, well, Kris, it's not all bad. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, my dad is an addict, and he needs black and white, wrong, good, heaven, hell, because it keeps him sober. And he cannot thrive in a nuanced world in this stage of his recovery. Right. And like that, like instantly, like moved me to a different place of like fucking canopies, man. Like I disagree with their theology. I disagree with the harm that they are actively choosing to participate in. And even then, right, there's places that affirm someone's belonging. And so I don't have to agree with it to understand that there's people who benefit from it. Right. So that's the fucked up thing about religion. There's no, I mean, outside of the church I pastor, there is no correct way of doing it. Right.
Right.
And I think that at least where I'm at, of like, I've stopped looking for, I'm looking for like good, healthy practices. I'm really
Yeah.
looking for like intellectual ways to think about the problem of evil and stuff. But I don't care anymore. Like, I believe in the resurrection of Jesus. I really do. And if people said, well, can you prove it? I'm like, I don't fucking care if it's true or not. Like,
Not
if
the
you,
point.
it's not the point anymore. But
Not
it
the
took
point.
me probably until I was 41 where I could finally get to the place of letting that go. Of like,
Right.
I don't have to be right. I don't have to be certain. I don't have to be even 50%. I used to say I'm like 51% positive this is it. And now I'm like, I don't need it anymore, because the story or the truth, whatever word you want to use about Christ, compels me to be a fucking good to try being a good person as much as I can. And that, for whatever reason, that's just enough for me today.
Yeah. Yeah. I agreed.
Agreed.
I agreed. I think there's just so much that I feel like is irrelevant. But it's okay. Like it doesn't matter if people find this helpful, that's great. If they don't, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I probably agree.
But do you still feel like I don't feel as much anymore, but like when people disagree with me, I still feel this of like, well, it's like I have this instant reaction from like 25-year-old Kris, right? That's like, no, let me tell you, it's really good. And I've been actively trying to like let people have their experience, their embodiments, and if it leads in love, right? Like,
right. No,
I'm not gonna talk you out of it.
Exactly. I had the fortunate circumstance where I was not pastoring a church at the time of my evolution of faith like you were. So I got to ignore everything for a good like 3 or 4 years, which is funny, but like, God, the distance was so helpful. And now when I talk about it, like I have a friend who's a really casual Catholic, and we talk about this sometimes.
The best kind of Catholics.
I think he's great. I don't know too many Catholics, so but when we talk about it, I find that I'm able to bring up just what I think is interesting. Like, here's what I'm thinking about, man. What do you think about that? Like, or just ask questions. Like I ask him every now and then because I forget that I've asked him. But like, what do you miss? You used to be so much more involved. What do you miss? And is that like he always says he misses the community. So I'm like, okay, what can we do? Like, do you want to? Should we find a cathedral somewhere? Like, I'll go with you. I'll hang out, or we could just go get coffee, just you and me. Like, whatever. No, I'm way more drawn to what is exciting and interesting and wonder than being right, because I don't know anymore. And I also I spent so long being so sure I was right. It feels so good to just put that down.
It is like,
It feels
I hope you're okay with me. We can delete it if you're not. But when I was texting Micah about coming on the pod, he's like, I really don't talk about faith anymore.
yeah, that's true.
Well, it makes more sense now, right? Of even saying like, I don't need to be right, and what I heard you say is I'm generally more interested in what excites other people and where they're finding belonging or meaning than trying to pretend I'm listening to insert my belief to get them to where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah. No thing.
Totally. I have this really, really bad habit where when I meet someone new, it's like there's like a 2-hour timer that starts where I'm going to ask them what they believe about anything metaphysical. And did you know that people find that off-putting? Did you know?
Yeah. Do you know my two favorite things to talk about are religion and politics? And the two things you're not supposed to talk about are religion and politics. Yeah.
No, let's talk about it. I'm so
Micah,
curious.
It's why we still connect, because I've always known you as like, I want to process some deep, heavy shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't gotten in trouble yet, but like I do know where all of my coworkers stand on spirituality, just because I'm curious.
Yeah.
And like my bosses, and yeah, it's just interesting to hear. Like, people are so interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got one last question for you.
Yeah.
And you can go any direction you want with this, and you can take as long as you
Okay.
want. But let's say, where do we want to start? Let's say you are walking out of that small group when you're 20 years old, and before you put on Thrice, right? No, Emery. No,
No,
Thrice.
it was Thrice. Yeah.
Yeah. Before you hit play on Thrice, 30-year-old Micah comes alongside 20-year-old Micah.
Oh.
Yeah. What would you say to your 20-year-old self?
Huh. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I think I would say there still are and there will be people who are just happy when you're around. That would have been really good to hear.
It feels good to hear now, Micah. Like that feels fucking magical.
Yeah.
What would 20-year-old said to 30-year-old Micah if you heard that? Fuck you, old man.
Did you put on weight?
I'm gonna listen to some emo music. Leave me alone.
Oh God, I think I would have cried. I think I would have cried really hard. And I believe I was at that point anyway. So, but oh God.
Okay. So now
Yeah.
this is my last question. So a lot of people who listen, the 13, 14 people and my mother who listen to this podcast have a very similar story to you. I mean, a lot of them, I imagine, have similar stories to you. Like, what wisdom do you want to pass along when it comes to like spirituality, faith, as you continue to evolve? Like, what is your send-off moment?
Oh, get into poetry, get into anything.
Yeah, love it.
But for real, so like, here's a rough framework I have in my mind of like what good theology could be. Like, if it's good news for everyone, it could be good theology.
Mm-hmm.
If it's poetry, it could be good theology. And nothing is set in stone. Yes, this is it. But like, if it's an earnest account of being human, you should pay attention. I think I try to look for it every now and then, but there's a quote about something like I go and be alone to realize that I'm never alone, or something like that. Like, look for the moments where you feel connected to other people and to other things, and there's value there. Look for that can be rest, that can be inspiration, it can be kind of an oasis in a desert of a really scary time. Yeah, that's meandering, but look,
I love it.
Pay attention to the earnest moments.
Okay. And if someone was wanting to know about poetry that can lead you to those spaces, who's a poet that we could look up?
I really like. Let me make sure I get his name right. I really like the work of. I believe his name is Kaveh Akbar.
Ooh, sounds awesome.
He is.
You could have said any poet's name. I'm like, fucking yeah, man.
Yeah, it is Kaveh. He's a Iranian American poet. He is he's a Muslim man. I followed him on Twitter when he had Twitter, and he would just post screenshots of poems he was reading. You never forget your first. I also really like the Poetry Unbound podcast. Not all of them land, but there's some really, really beautiful pieces in there.
That's awesome.
Go there.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Micah /Hawk, this is great. One thing I thought of while you're answering, I should have been paying more attention, was, God, it'd be really fun to get to get some people, because I know theology is really important to you, right? Like
Sure.
an intellectual exercise.
Yeah.
Getting a bunch of us who aren't like professional theologians and get together and talk about serious theological things, but like half takes, that would be awesome.
That'd be so fun.
Like, I don't know what this word means, but I'm going to tell you what I think it means, and then have a whole conversation on that.
I'm so in.
And you can listen to Thrice as we do it. That'd be great. Okay. Well,
That sounds great.
Thank you, Micah. To find out more information about who we are, you can go to shitmypastorsaid.com. And Micah, do you have any socials where people can follow all the works of Micah Wilson?
You should go to duluthcider.com. They're our sponsor for the episode.
You work there?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I didn't know you worked there. That's where you want to send is to Duluth Cider for where they can follow you?
Go buy some cider. Oh, hey, actually, wait.
Don't
real,
go to
though.
Duluth Cider.
No, don't
Duluth
go.
Cider.
Do
The owner's
go.
Jake Scott, who was on one of our first episodes. Yes.
Yeah, they're the sponsor of the show, right?
No, we have not seen a fucking dollar, Jake, if you're listening.
You texted me and told me that I have to get the plug in. But for real, you should go to willskatart.com. It's WILSKATART.
Okay.
That's my mom makes art, and she's
the best
phenomenal.
shout out. She is the best. Do you know your mom's putting together a queer friendly art show at our church, and the whole reason we're doing it is because of her?
I've heard rumors,
my
but
God.
you better believe I'm gonna
Dude,
be
you
there.
come from just a fucking awesome family. Okay, on that, we really do got to wrap it up. Thank you, Micah. Shitmypastorsaid.com. Have a good day.
Thanks.